We were warned when we hired our first human crew member that they would form bonds with almost anything. We didn't listen, and now we have an apex predator somewhere on the ship, and the human won't stop calling it kitty. A part of me argued that it really wasn't the human's fault. They were newcomers to the galactic stage. They hadn't gathered the vast experiences that the other species had. Some even claimed that their racial innocence was a strength. Free from the long-standing grudges and biases that other species clung to, humanity looked at the galaxy and its inhabitants with fresh eyes. I wanted to believe that humans could help us learn more about ourselves. In fact, I was one of the strongest supporters of bringing on the new human crew member. But even I had underestimated the human's ability to bond with both inanimate objects and dangerous creatures. It's just a kitty. No, human. A Thiandra is not just anything. They are ruthless predators who will eat anything that moves. The human grinned broadly at that. Logically, I knew this was a sign of amusement, likely at my expense. But it was unsettling how those smiles showed off the sharp human canine teeth. That's the thing. You can't run from it. Then you're just asking to be chased. You have to let it come to you and smell you first. You've got to let it know you. Then you can pet it all you want. Dejima shuddered at the human's words. Any Taldras who had ever gotten close enough for a Thiandra to catch their scent had become its prey. Few were lucky enough to survive such encounters. Dejima had never really believed the wild human stories that had spread through the quadrant. Surely, they had to be exaggerations or myths. What species would willingly expose themselves to solar radiation burns regularly because they found their body's defense mechanism to it visually appealing? However, the stories about humans taming their fiercest predators were starting to seem much more plausible. Thiandras do not allow themselves to be pet. Nor would any Taldras attempt it. The very thought is absurd. It's an act of self-destruction. These are not creatures that can be tamed. Luckily, with the planet behind us, we are safe. Just be more cautious in the future, human. Somehow, the human's grin grew even wider at that. It's perfectly safe and well-behaved. Here, I'll show you. The human took one of his left arms and led Dejima toward the cargo bays. The human truly didn't understand proper decorum sometimes. Show me what, human? The cargo bay doors loomed large above them as they neared. How well-trained the kitty is. It's really smart, you know. It does everything I ask. The human opened the cargo bay door, and a familiar smell rushed out. Blood. With its weaker sense of smell, the human didn't seem to notice. By the stars. You brought it with you? Dejima scrambled away from the door, out of the human's grasp. He rushed for the emergency override when soft thudding sounds echoed nearby. He froze as primal fear responses took over his mind. He could smell the stronger scent of blood mixed with the musk his people had come to know and fear. He turned to see the human approach the Thiandra. The small figure was only half the creature's size, but instead of attacking, it simply pulled the human closer. It even began licking the human, grooming it. Realization dawned on Dejima. It really wasn't the human's fault. The apex predator of the sector appeared to pose no threat to the human. It genuinely seemed to want to please it. It was almost as if the kitty had claimed the human as its own, perhaps even as its pet. And now, as the human waved and urged Dejima to come closer, he felt the gaze of death settle on him. The human didn't understand. It really wasn't their fault.